said to me by the sacred sword of Jovan that you would use the power only for good, never for evil. Jovan.
Custom music.
Remember, never for evil.
Hey guys, Renowned Sun here. It's been a real long time since I made an update vid on the mod, so I decided to make Devlog 2 more of a showcase of our new features for SSUCH 2.5. Introducing the Jukebox, a once non-functional, useless thingamajig that's gotten a new coat of paint, and I'll teach you how to use it. Upon pressing up on the Jukebox, you are greeted with a simple menu containing two options. The first option, selecting music, opens up another menu, which lets you select which song to change. After selecting which song to change, you are then prompted to select either a theme from the game's files or from your own selection. For the internal game song menu, there are a few options for preset songs, all sorted based on what character and game mode they originate from. Pressing jump on any song lets you select that song, while pressing taunt plays that song to give you a listen unless you select it on the default, which just stops the song entirely. And if you want to reset the song to its default, pressing jump on the default sets it back to normal. If you choose to use your own song, you will first need to import a song into the folder the game says to put it in. I'll use this remix of Letting It Melt by Wade just as an example, mainly because he wanted it in the mod.
Aww.
In order to get the ODD files needed, you first need to plug it into Audacity or some similar software to make it a .odd file compatible with GameMaker, and to move that file to where I said to put it in. Once you have your files placed within SSUCH Music, you exit out and return to the menu to get your new song loaded in, which can then be used as your custom song. I'd recommend playing the song in-game just to see how loud or quiet it is. Because you can then edit that file using the software to make it louder or quieter as needed, and then once you're done, you can exit out and reload to get your new song. Once finished customizing your music, you can then go into the music pack menu to export your selected songs into a small, modular INI file called a music pack. In order to be able to reuse your pack, you need to place the new pack into the music pack folder in SSUCH Music alongside with naming the pack appropriately. Once done, you can check whether to see if your music pack is loaded correctly by going to import your music from the pack. In this menu, you should see that your pack does in fact exist as intended and can be reloaded for when you want to change back to that pack. If you want to reset your music back to normal, you can always press jump on reset music to change the music back to their defaults. Now for the actual devlog. We here at the SSUCH team, more like Jaldi and I, have been working hard at the next update over the past few months, and I'm confident to say that we are about 80% done with the update, with almost all essential functions of the update complete. But the more important message is what will happen after the release of the 2.5. As you probably would expect, the existence of the 2.5 means that we'll continue developing SSUCH rather than focusing on an exhibition night mod. However, development will most likely end when the Sugary Spire source code releases, as to focus more on a fully realized SSUCH continuation using the final game.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
For this reason, I have drafted up a roadmap of the future of SSUCH and its potential new content updates. Starting with V3, this update will focus primarily on fleshing out and polishing the Sugary Getaway game mode, as this one is sorely lacking in both quality and quantity in its content. If you had noticed in the Christmas Q&A, I had posted a concept for a mystery lap 3, and that lap 3 idea is the basis of the new and reworked Sugary Getaway lapping system, going all the way up to lap 5, akin to the classic experience. For the next batch of content, Jaldu and I have agreed to add a gauntlet level, but the details of how it would work is largely up in the air due to the existence of Cone Gal and Getaway, but also the Fearland, yada yada. However, its release will most likely come at or between V3 and V4. For V4, I propose the creation of a new lap, something I hinted at all the way back in 2024 with the first devlog, that being lap 6 with Pizzano. Pizzano will most likely get some sort of rework or buff to make him an actual threat, but the details are kinda murky. Going beyond V4, I do have a few ideas on what to potentially add for new content in case Sugary Spire still isn't anywhere near out by then. The first idea I have is the return of Multi-Showdown, likely just being Cone Gal but with everyone at once. But for a more interesting idea, I have the idea of a Harry Ghost game mode rather than a lap 7 or 5 featuring him. For this game mode, Harry spawns upon Sugar Rush activating, and he spawns in the middle of the room to trip the player up, while also having some sort of rubber banding like in PT. But I have no clue on how he should move beyond that, as to not make him a John Ghost reskin and to make his addition more substantial. Another idea would be the return of time trials. However, I would feel that it would be out of place compared to the other game modes, and would likely require its own separate menu entirely, because you could have, say, a time trial for Cone Gal or lap 5 or whatever. The other issue with time trials is how to actually save that data, but that's more of a technical hurdle than anything else. And that'll be it for today's devlog. Saying this from my heart, SSUCH is the first real mod that I have ever made, and it has been a part of my life for over a year at this point. SSU itself is also one of my favorite games of all time, even managing to compete with other amazing games like Undertale, EU4, or Mario Kart Wii in spite of its game. And seeing the support I get from this mod, no matter how small or no matter where across the globe, makes me proud of what I've made. So I'll say farewell for now, and work on finishing V2.5 to ready myself for another big update.